Mr. Administrator, I have a question. I'm concerned about the threat posed by the largely unmonitored movement of high-risk hazardous materials on our nation's highway network, and about TSA's difficulty to address this vulnerability as directed by Congress and is required by law. Section 1554 of the 9/11 Act of 2007, Motor Carrier Security Sensitive Material Tracking, requires the TSA, sir, to develop a program to facilitate the tracking of highway security sensitive materials, HSSMs. Currently, I understand that the TSA has no visibility in the movement of these dangerous materials on the nation's highways. Compounding this, I understand that TSA lacks the basic programmatic data on these shipments, the number of shipments, quantity shipped, and the origin, destination, and routing of the shipments. Mr. Administrator, I was pleased with the commitment you actually made, sir, during your confirmation hearing to revisit the surface security provisions of the 9/11 Act and to implement those that TSA has yet to address. However, TSA has not prioritized this R&D program, and work stopped about a year and a half ago with the FedTrack R&D project about half completed. I understand that there's been some preliminary discussion around an approach to implement a tracking center and an industry-funded public-private partnership at no cost to the taxpayer. My question, can you tell me what, if any, plans TSA has to restart and complete the work on FedTrack R&D?
Yes, sir. Thank you for your question, and also thank you for your comments about the Chattanooga workforce. And I did talk to the Federal Security Director for that airport to personally relay the comments that you made, and he was very, very appreciative of your comments and your involvement and your support of TSA. With respect to your question, I said at my confirmation hearing that I am very concerned about the level of effort that TSA is able to put forth with surface transportation security writ large, whether it's trucking, freight rail, mass transit, pipelines, over-the-road buses. And one of the things that we have done to address that is we're in the midst of a restructuring which will put under the direct control of now an assistant administrator for surface transportation security operations. So we elevated the position up a notch that oversees surface, and then are also in the process of giving that assistant administrator direct control over a lot more resources than she previously had direct control over. And this includes all of our surface inspectors that are basically co-located with our inspectors at airports around the country, and also a regional staff to be able to work closely with FEMA for contingency planning and response, and also for surface transportation security. Additionally, I know from looking at my own budget that we are underinvested in research and development, and that is something that is not reflected in the fiscal 20 budget because we're not ready yet to put specific initiatives forward to do that, but will be in our fiscal 21 budget. And this applies both at the screening checkpoint and also in our surface transportation efforts. And so I pledge to you that I will keep a very close eye on this, and you will see as we complete our restructuring a significant increase in the resources directly attributable to surface transportation security.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And as a follow-up, can you speak to the potential return to the taxpayer in terms of preventing a serious incident, sir?
Yes, sir. And that's something we're always very mindful of. Is the ROI is enormous on almost every aspect of what TSA performs, and we do have in my view, a very robust risk assessment and risk management process that kind of looks across the spectrum of what we're asked to secure and makes decisions as to where we need to spend that next available dollar so we do get the highest return on investment for the taxpayer. But that's a constant part of our process, and I just recently amended the risk assessment and management process to the point where annually it's briefed to me and my senior staff as to what risks we think we're facing and how we're going to manage and mitigate those risks, and then quarterly updates after that, so it's constantly on our plate. As we look at our own resource allocations, our own policy decisions, that we keep that in clear focus.
Mr. Administrator, thank you. I believe my time is up. Madam Chairman, I'll reserve for round two.